The NBA playoffs is set. The Knicks are taking on the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. The Knicks finish off the season on a high note, beating the Brooklyn Nets yesterday. Mikal Bridges starts the game, but he leaves the game just to keep his streak going. Landry Shamet goes off. And I just wanted to go live here and talk about the Knicks and the Pistons and my quick thoughts about it. I'm currently on vacation. As you can tell, I'm not at home. But hey, I feel like I miss the Knicks. I miss you guys, Knicks media. For those wondering why I've not been making a lot of content, I am traveling, but I will be back in time for the whole playoff run, which is going to be an exciting thing. And I just want to come on here and share my thoughts about the Knicks and the Pistons in the first round of the playoffs, what to expect. First game is Saturday, 6 p.m. EST is game number 1. So we got a whole week to prepare for this, and I'm excited, man. I think that there's a lot of energy around this Knicks team. A lot of people that are doubting the Knicks already in this series I'm seeing online. And I feel like the Detroit Pistons are definitely not a team to count out. They're young, they're pesky, have a lot of energy, and we saw that matchup on Thursday between the Knicks and the Pistons, and did not go our favor. The Knicks were playing well, and then they fumbled late in the game. Very physical. There's going to be probably a lot of fights in this game. And, P.J. Tucker said himself, we got to really toughen up in this series, which I think is going to be really important for this Knicks team to embody the toughness, because I feel like that's one element of this Knicks team that we are lacking. If you want to compare to last year's Knicks team, the toughness was there. Dante DiVincenzo brought that edge. Isaiah Hartenstein. But without those two guys, I feel like the Knicks have kind of stemmed away from that. And, I'm representing Big Cat right here. I love Karl Anthony Towns, but he's got to toughen up. There's a lot of players in this Knicks team that's got to toughen up for the NBA playoffs. If there's one player in particular that I'm really excited for the most to always see in the playoffs for the Knicks is Jalen Brunson. I mean, the guy is the captain, and I'm never going to forget what he did last year for the Knicks in the playoffs, and I'm really excited to see what he does this year. And it's just a matter of, can you level up your game? Can you level up the toughness? And I think a big element, too, is going to be the defensive side of the ball. Are the Knicks going to be able to hone in on defense? Cade Cunningham is a young star in this league, and I think he has an opportunity to prove himself to be a superstar. And the way you do that is the NBA playoffs. And I'm always consistent with that. It does not really matter how good you are in the regular season. It's really about how you are in the NBA playoffs. Are you able to level up your game? Are you able to play your best brand of basketball when the playoffs begin? So that's what I'm excited to see from the Knicks side of things. Eric's in the chat. Let's go Knicks, my guy. Appreciate it. I cannot wait for the playoffs. Me too. Knicks Galaxy, my guy. Let's go Knicks. You know it, Knicks Galaxy. Always great to see you. Danny's in the chat. Salute to you, Danny. Appreciate you tuning in. Folks, hit the like button. I'm currently on vacation in Costa Rica right now, but I had to go live and talk some Knicks because it's been too long and I was unplugged for a little bit, but now I had to make a video and go live real quick to talk about now that the Knicks are officially facing off against the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks finish off the season a little rocky. I mean, no one's going to really read into yesterday's win and think like that was anything to really, we beat the Brooklyn Nets with our backups. Congratulations. The big thing is we lost 3 straight. Lost to the Cavs, lost to the Pistons. We were playing well in the first half. We did not play good in the second half. We fumbled those games. So I think a lot of people, there's some concerns here. But, hey, we got a whole week to prepare for the Pistons now to get healthy, to sit back and enjoy the play-in tournament. Obviously, Knicks fans don't need to worry about the play-in tournament. It does not impact the Knicks whatsoever. But just from an NBA basketball perspective, it is going to be fun, entertaining to see that. Lawrence, what's up, man? Says, I know everyone is worried, but I think the Knicks beat the Pistons in 5 or 6 games. I have serious doubts about round 2 against the Celtics. Yeah, that's very reasonable. That's pretty much what I think every Knicks fan is expecting. I think the Knicks should beat the Pistons in 5 or 6. If it goes to Game 7, I don't want that to happen, man. I don't want to go to Game 7 against the Pistons. I feel like that would just stress me out. Ideally, the Knicks beat the Pistons in 5 or 6. There's no way they sweep them. I mean, if they sweep them, I'm going to be the happiest person. But I don't know. I don't want to have that expectation. The Pistons are actually not a team to sleep on. They have a lot to prove. And, the Pistons kind of remind me of, the Knicks a few years ago when the Knicks made the playoffs for the first time in a while and no one really saw them do anything. And then And now here we are 4 years later. I think the Pistons are starting their turnaround as an organization, led by their young star, Cade Cunningham. And, they got a lot of players to be worried about outside of Cade Cunningham. But the Pistons are not a team to just count out, right? And I think if you look at the matchup, who would you prefer to face off against, the Pistons or the Bucks? It's interesting because the Bucks right now are red hot heading into the playoffs. And they're an experienced team. They've won the championship a few years ago. Obviously, they don't have the same playoff team as when they won the championship. But I think what's really important with the playoffs, in my opinion, is also experience. And I think the Knicks have that over the Pistons, is playoff experience. The moment's not going to be too big for Brunson. Even guys like Karl Anthony Towns, he's making his Knick playoff debut, but he's got a lot of playoff experience from Minnesota. And he's a guy that you got to really keep an eye on. Is he going to be able to level up his game in the NBA playoffs? I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but Cat hasn't really been a player that shows up in the playoffs for Minnesota. So from a stature of he's not a bum in the playoffs, but he doesn't really play to the level that he plays in the regular season, which is going to be really important. But I think a big X factor for the Knicks in the playoffs for me is OG. Is he going to be able to tap into the guy that he was the last, 12 or 13 games of the regular season? Because that man was a beast. And if we get that version of OG mixed in with Brunson and Cat and Mikal Bridges, finding his way, and Josh Hart, can he be that clutch guy? Remember how clutch Josh Hart was last year in the playoffs? With, of course, the bench, could Landry Shamet use the momentum he just had in yesterday's game and carry that into the NBA playoffs off the bench? There's a lot of things to look at there. Yeah, we have to finish games too many times. We let teams get back. Yeah, that's a big thing too, man. We have to start games strong and finish games strong. And I think playing for 48 minutes is going to be the mantra. And if we're up by 12 points at half, I'm not going to feel comfortable because we've seen this Knicks team and go out there and give up leads way too often. And I think the defense is really where that's going to be the priority. Yeah, we cannot look past the Pistons. You're right. The experience is huge in this. Yeah, the experience is definitely something the Knicks have over the Pistons. But what the Pistons have is, they got nothing to lose mentality, right? I don't want to say they're just happy to be there. Obviously, the Pistons want to go far in the playoffs. But this is their first time. I don't even know. You guys know when the last time the Pistons were in the playoffs? When was it last time? But they're a young team, and they kind of have that mindset all right, we're the 6th seed. We got nothing to lose. Let's go out there. Let's have fun. Let's play free. We just faced off against them a few days ago, so we know what to expect. They're going to be tough-minded, and oh, man, this is going to be tough. And I feel like I just don't want Knicks fans to look past the Pistons to the Boston Celtics because we have to get through the Pistons first. And I know people are worried about the Celtics in round 2, but we cannot look through the Pistons right now because they are a very good basketball team. They're a fun team to watch if you're an objective basketball team. And we got Killer B. Pistons are garbage. All right, that's the energy. Love it. Mitchell Robinson is another X factor as well. The energy that he needs to bring on defense, offensive rebounds, provide that spark off the bench from that stature is important. I think that what Mitchell Robinson did in the NBA playoffs the last 2 years was very imperative to the Knicks' success in the postseason, and he's got to carry that into this year. Now that he's healthy, he's had a month and a half or what of getting healthy, getting his feet underneath him, finding his confidence. So Mitchell Robinson's going to be very important in this series, no doubt about it. But we need somebody to kind of set the tone and set the edge for this Knicks basketball team. And maybe that's Mitch off the bench. Maybe that's Josh Hart. I mean, if there was somebody that brings an edge on this Knicks team, it is Josh Hart. Of course, Jalen Brunson too. But we need somebody, man, to kind of set the tone early. Yeah, that's the scary part. The Pistons have nothing to lose. Yeah, I mean, the Knicks have everything to lose. That's the difference. The Knicks, if they lose in the first round, it is sound the alarms. If the Pistons lose in the first round, they have something to build on for next year. They're not going to be crying about losing the first round. Not to say that the Pistons fan base or the Pistons are going to be happy with losing the playoffs. That's not my point here. But they're young and they're rising. They can build off of playoff appearance. For example, the Knicks, when we made the postseason in 2021 for the first time, it was like, we're happy to be there. Obviously, losing to the Hawks the way that we did not feel good, but we used that as momentum to build to where we are today. The next year, we missed the playoffs. The year after that, we land Jalen Brunson. and then we go to the second round of the playoffs, back-to-back years, and now here we are trying to get past round 2 and get into the Eastern Conference Finals, hopefully. That's just signs of improvement. But we cannot get to the Eastern Conference Finals without first getting through the Pistons. And, of course, the Celtics are waiting for us in round 2 if we get through round 1, which will not be easy whatsoever. So I think that the Knicks, we got to look after is Mikal Bridges. What is he going to look like? Because we gave up all those draft picks for him, and I think that if there was an opportunity to prove that you were worth that trade is now in the playoffs, and I hope that Bridges has a good postseason, man. He really needs one. I'm not going to lie. He needs one. I'm hoping it's Josh providing that spark. Yeah, me too. I think that Josh Hart is one of those guys that can always set the tone by pushing the ball in transition, playing hard. And, P.J. Tucker had an interesting quote where he's like, this Knicks team's got to be tough. And I think Tucker is a guy that is an important piece, a veteran presence in that locker room that does not play, but he is watching this Knicks team. He's been a champion for Milwaukee, I believe. He was on that championship team, right? And he's someone that you can kind of lean on from a veteran perspective. What do you see? What do we need to improve on? And hype up the team. And he's that bench presence. So we'll see. I think Mitch will start. No restrictions. Who will he start over? I don't think Mitch is going to start. Who is Mitch going to start over? Josh Hart? No. Cat? No. OG? No. No. He's not starting. Where are you located with such a beautiful backyard? So currently I'm on vacation in Costa Rica. I'm out of the country right now traveling. And that's why I haven't been able to make videos this last week is because I am on the road at the back end of the season. But now that the regular season is officially wrapped up, and the playoffs are about to start, I had to go live real quick from my Airbnb in Costa Rica to talk to you guys a little bit because, first of all, I miss Knicks media. I miss communicating with you guys. I miss talking Knicks. But, for me, it's hard to unplug on vacation because I'm so plugged into what's going on with the Knicks, with my Jets, my Mets. And I had an itch this morning to get on here and talk ball with you guys, which is why we're live. So, yes, I'm not in my usual setup. I am traveling right now. But the day I'm getting home is the day of Game 1 against the Pistons, which is Saturday. And then another thing you guys need to know, I am traveling again to Green Bay, Wisconsin to cover the NFL Draft on behalf of my media network, Roundtable Sports, and that's going to be during the NBA playoffs. So I got a lot of balancing to do here. I'm going to be covering the NFL Draft. That's going to be in the middle of round 1 for the Knicks. So it's going to be a lot of juggling. But I'll be able to juggle it. This is what I do for a living. I'm not complaining. It's a lot of fun. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button if you guys are enjoying the show. I appreciate you guys big time tuning in. Let's do it. Appreciate you guys. Awesome. Living the life, brother. Thank you, Killer B. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, this is a great area that I'm in. I'm really enjoying it. Really, really am enjoying it. Fun fact, behind this cloud is a volcano, but you can't see it because it's cloudy this morning. But yesterday morning, it was clear skies, and you will be able to see it. You can actually you can't really see it, no. But yesterday, you were able to see it. But listen, man, the Knicks have had such an interesting season. And let me make sure I have this exactly right before I talk about it. So the Knicks finished the season with 51 wins, right? 51-31. And if you had polled Knicks fans, you would say that Knicks fans aren't feeling super confident, I would say, heading into the playoffs. I feel like there's a sense of panic going into the postseason. But, bro, 51-31, and listen, none of that matters. The regular season success is not going to matter unless it matches the playoff success. I 100% agree with that. But I think that the playoffs, the regular season should not be just thrown away like, oh, we didn't play, diminish that 51-win season. So now this Knicks team's got to level up their game and go after a big-time playoff run, man. Let's go. We need all Knicks fans hyped up. I don't know. I'm hoping that the second game is on Monday because then I may be going to that game. Depending on that, they didn't announce the schedule unless they did. If you guys saw the NBA release the full first-round schedule, let me know because I just saw Game 1. Hennessy's now in this chat, my guy. We're going to sweep the Pistons, my guy. Love that energy. I would love a sweep. I think a sweep would be glorious, but I don't know, man. A sweep does not feel likely because the Pistons are good. I'm not sleeping on the Pistons. And the Knicks, I don't know, unless the Knicks all of a sudden just level up and they fulfill their potential. Because, I mean, first of all, objectively, go look at the Knicks roster compared to the Pistons roster. The Knicks have the more talented roster, for sure. But the cohesiveness, the chemistry, and all that matters. And I think that the physicality is going to be, if you look around all the playoff series, I think the Knicks Pistons series is going to be the most physical out of all of them. The Pistons always have been physical. You go back in time. The Knicks have been physical. That's always been a sense of energy, right? You saw, who was it? Was it Brunson that got fouled? And then, what was it? Dennis Schroeder stood over him. Was it Brunson that he stood over? And then P.J. Tucker fouled him, stood over him back. I mean, that's that type of playoff energy, man. I mean, P.J. Tucker, throw him out there. Give him some minutes, right? I'm hearing the Detroit Pistons don't want the Knicks fans to be present. Yes, I did see that. So the Pistons are restricting who can go to the Pistons games in Detroit. You have to be in a specific area to buy tickets. They're scared that Knicks fans are going to take over the arena. They are scared that the Knicks fan base is going to take over that arena. Because you best believe we will if they did not do that. Right? I've been saying all season we need a dog to come off the bench and send a message to teams. Remember, Quincy AC need a guy like that on the team. It goes a long way. P.J. Tucker. Like you said, I think Tucker is that guy that can come in and send a message early. Sets the tone. I mean, Tucker looks like a football player out there, bro. Like, he does not look like, I don't know. He's a big boy. I love it. Knicks fans will find a way to be there, no doubt about it. We will definitely find a way to be there. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for the playoffs to start because I think this Knicks team is hungry. I also think that this Knicks team has a sense of urgency now where they feel like they're being counted out. I feel like they understand that now we win 51 games, great, but now this is the opportunity to go after something special, right? This is something special where if you could beat the Pistons and stay healthy, which is really important. I mean, you can't really do anything about that. We just got to hope that we stay healthy. But if we can get through the Pistons in 5 or 6 games at full health, you never know what can happen against Boston, man. And, hey, you never know. Who's Boston going to face off against round one? Could they be upset? No, it's not happening. Not happening. So the play-in tournament is between Orlando and Atlanta for that 7th seed. And the 7th seed is going to take on the Boston Celtics. So Orlando or Atlanta will be taking on the Boston Celtics. And then you got the Bulls and Heat fighting for the loser of that 7-8 seed. So interesting to see who wins the play-in tournament to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. And the West, we got Lakers, Timberwolves, round 1. Rockets going to take on the Warriors or Grizzlies. Wow, dude. The West always has the crazy play-in tournament games. Well, the East, like Magic, Hawks, Bulls, Heat, boring. But the West, you got the Warriors, Grizzlies. That's a really good play-in game, man. That's going to be a great play-in game. And then you got Nuggets, Clippers, round 1. Wow. Lakers, Timberwolves. Yeah, it's going to be – the NBA playoffs are going to be unbelievable this year. So, folks, I'm going to wrap up the show here. Just want to go live for 20 minutes, talk about the Knicks versus the Pistons in the NBA playoffs coming up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned for Knicks content, of course. Leading into the NBA playoffs, which starts Saturday, I'm going to be live on Bleacher Report tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST to talk about the Knicks and the Pistons more in depth. So definitely stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate it. I will be representing the New York Knicks all the way over here in Costa Rica to try to bring that energy to the Knicks. And I'm landing back in New York the day of game number 1, which is perfect timing for me. Because I'll be honest, I did not want to be here in Costa Rica when the playoffs start. And the day we get home is the first game of the NBA playoffs for the New York Knicks. So I'm going to sign off here, folks. Love you guys. Let's go Knicks. And I will see you later. Let's go Knicks. Love you guys. Peace.